BAMcinemaFest is BAM's annual Best of the Indie showcase with highlights from this year's Sundance and South by Southwest. This year, the festival, its 7th, will run from June 17th through the 28th and is truly an exceptional one. Let's take a look at the trailer. The festival opens tomorrow with James Ponsolt's new film, The End of the Tour, about the budding friendship between Rolling Stone journalist, played by Jesse Eisenberg, who's assigned to join David Foster Wallace on the cult author's book tour. Other highly anticipated titles at the festival include Sean Baker's Tangerine, Edward Schultz's recent South by Southwest by way of Cannes runaway hit Krisha, Nathan Silver's Stinking Heaven, and Chad Gracia's documentary The Russian Woodpecker, to name just a few. Here now joining me in the studio are BAMcinemaFest programmers Nellie Killian, welcome Nellie, and David Riley. Good morning, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to BK Live. Well, you know, let's jump right in because this is just an astounding group of films. And I know I didn't even mention the other special screenings. You've got a couple of anniversary screenings, right? Mm-hmm. And shorts, lots and lots of shorts. Mm-hmm. Where do we start? I kind of named some of the films that I've caught and that I really was moved by in one way or another. But tell, first of all, how you find these films. I said Sundance, South by Southwest, but that's kind of my guesswork.
Yes, I mean, so we have a 3-person programming committee, and we do travel to Sundance and South by Southwest to scout films, but we also had someone at the Berlin Film Festival this year. We have films that came from the Rotterdam Film Festival in the Netherlands, and one world premiere as well, the film Jason and Shirley,
right,
which came to us through a submissions process. So we really try to get a broad spectrum of what's out there in American independent cinema these days. Yeah,
I'm going to have that experience where every time you bring up another title, I'm going to say, I should have mentioned that before, too. I just watched Jason and Shirley, which is really such a unique film. It's like a fiction version of a very cult but you know, seminal documentary that was done in 1967 by Shirley Clark, and now there's this fiction version, and it's all shot with super video, right, with video.
Yes,
right,
analog video. Actually, I'm not sure what type of analog video, but yeah.
Super VHS, I think.
Yeah.
And so whatever, he didn't know how it was going to come out as far as aesthetically, but it looks fantastic. And
yeah, the movie's really great, and I think the movie portrait of Jason is such a rich text, and what Stephen Winter's done with it is really impressive. He cast 2 performers who've been very active in New York for the past 30 years, Sarah Schulman and Jack Waters. Mm-hmm. And I think they both bring just like a lot of vibrance to the characters and this very complicated dynamic between the 2 of them as they're shooting this film. Yeah.
Another film I saw, I happened to see at South by Southwest just because the filmmaker, Trey, was nagging at me relentlessly to come to his premiere. I'm kidding. But I'm so glad that I just followed my intuition and I went to his, and I was just blown away by Krisha. I just found that I was really moved by that film.
Krisha is really, I think, an extraordinary example of the type of films we like to champion at BAMcinemaFest, which are deeply personal. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a first-time filmmaker from Texas. The film is a largely non-professional cast, many of his own family members. The title character, I believe, is his aunt, playing
That's right. His mother.
Fictional version of herself.
No, I think his real-life aunt plays his mother.
Yes, correct.
Right, and actually his real-life mother ends up playing his aunt, but I'm going to make everybody confused.
Yeah, but it's deeply personal and really a labor of love involving friends and family, and that has a very strong visual component, really stunning long takes and camera compositions that are very difficult to achieve with such a small budget and really shooting with a small crew. It's definitely a breakout hit.
Yeah, I'll say it's not very typical to get your first feature into Cannes, is it?
No, it's not.
Because if it were, I'm pretty sure everybody would go ahead and take care of that. Let's see. We were talking in the green room, and you mentioned a couple of things. One is that there are more shorts now. There's right. Do you want to talk about shorts? Shorts are always short shrifted. I mean, there's not a ton of places for people to see it outside their local film festival and some other spots like Fandor and places like that.
Yeah, I think David and I have always felt that way about shorts, that it's very hard to provide a context for them where they really shine in a film festival environment. But this year, we were seeing so many excellent ones, and I think that we're both a fan of when you have a short that could really work well with the feature, and that they both would sort of add some context to each other, and both would really be able to be shown to their best benefit. It's a really nice way to show a short. But we actually had so many, and so many of them were so strong, we decided to do a whole shorts program and several with features. And maybe David can talk a little bit more about some of the ones we're showing.
Yeah, so the shorts program itself, it features 4 films. A number of them alumni of our festival. Jennifer Reeder, who's a Chicago-based filmmaker, made her previous film was in our festival. Her film is called Blood Below the Skin. And Joe Callender, who's another alumni of our festival, he had a feature film called Life After Death. Made a film called Gary Has an AIDS Scare, which is a very unflinching documentary portrait of a Vietnam veteran who's living in South Asia. And Owen Klein and Andy Lampert made a film called Jazzy for Joe, which features the late radio legend Joe Franklin, who recently passed away, and director Andy Lampert's own child in kind of an oddball adventure through the streets of New York.
Yes, it's maybe the most New York movie we're showing of just about anything.
Even though there is diversity in this, I know we mentioned that too. There's more diversity this year than ever in terms of geography, et cetera. And also, I don't want to leave anything out. I mean, we barely skimmed the surface in terms of all these wonderful films, documentaries, and features. And but also, there's a couple of anniversary screenings. Kids, Larry Clark's film, which put a number of actors on the map, including Chloe Sevigny and Leo Fitzpatrick. And you're doing a screening, a 20th anniversary screening with the cast coming for a reunion. And
yes, everyone's coming together to talk about the film in retrospect. And it should be a really great screening. The movie's kind of been out of circulation for a long time, so it'll be...
And it's a film that I think bears a strong influence on young independent filmmakers today. It's now the 20th anniversary, and it really, you can see the mark of kind of Larry Clark's work in a lot of the work that we're showcasing.
So people, most of the screenings are taking place, of course, in the original BAM Theater.
Yes.
Right.
Most screenings are in the BAM Rose Cinemas,
right,
which is our year-round film venue. The opening night film is in the BAM Howard Gilman Opera House, which is in the same building. And tickets and more information, they're available bam.org/BAMcinemaFest. You can check out the full lineup, look at the trailer, and explore some of the upcoming films.
We also have one outdoor screening.
Oh,
that'll be at Brooklyn Bridge Park. We're showing Richard Linklater's Slacker.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that was our Boyhood was our opening night film last year, so we're very happy to be showing another film by him, and also in a gorgeous location overlooking the Lower Manhattan skyline.
Oh, it's great. I mean, talk about films that have influenced generations of indie filmmakers. That's another great example.
And that is a free screening, free event, open to the public.
Wait, they're not all free? No. You have to purchase tickets at bam.org/BAMcinemaFest, right? Yeah. And again, the festival runs June 17th through the 20th, so tomorrow, through the 28th of June. And seriously, all stunning, just tons of stunning films. So thank you guys very much for squeezing in some time for us here today.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it. Thanks, David. Thank you, Nellie.